Alright, so the game is about to start. Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Crazy, crazy, crazy good game. This game, everyone, I'm reading a lot of comments saying that they want Aston Villa to get relegated. I don't know why. As you can see over here, we have. I'm looking at the poly market. I'm not trying to promote anything. As I can see, Rogers is just sprinting, looking fresh actually. So Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspurs, and as you can see, 43%, and someone actually placed 14,000. Damn, that is really really crazy. So Aston Villa to win 43%, 31% Tottenham Hotspurs, and 27 draw. That is absolutely massive, crazy, crazy, crazy one. I'm trying to check something. I don't know what's going on, but let me try to look at these. All right, I think it's good now. So Tottenham Hotspurs versus Aston Villa. My goodness, this game is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. So 43, and the game has already started. So I'm looking just at some stats over here, and this is a must win, by the way, for both teams, because early this morning Liverpool lost against Manchester United. It was a really really good game, and then Manchester United won. Kobe Maino. But the moment Ahmad came on, the game changed for Manchester United. He made a mistake actually, and Liverpool scored. And then at the end, actually the goalkeeper too made a mistake. So it was really really crazy crazy game. I don't know why Liverpool kind of missed that chance. But I have to say this: that was a really good pass from what's his name, from Poro. Poor control from Richarlison. Manchester United missed a lot of goals in that game. They were supposed to score at least 5 goals, but Manchester United messed up everything. So the game has already started. It's a must-win for both these two teams, because if they lose this game, I can say this: Tottenham pretty much is done. So it's a must-win for them. So I hope everyone is going to enjoy the stream. So let me just turn on the commentary over here.
Tell is going to take 2 minutes played. 0-0 Villa versus Tottenham. Lots of movement in yellow in the penalty area. Tell will send it to the back post. Danso's up, as is Rogers. We got the last touch on it, and it will be another corner for Spurs, this time over on the far side, as Rogers has to pick himself up off the turf.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been all about Rogers actually. That comes off him, and he tries to hook it away and just catches his leg on Paulinho, who squeals as he goes down, but not quite sure why.
A knee in the side of the ribs, maybe? No question of a foul or a penalty.
At all. Look at him, he's fine. Look at him. All this squealing and then getting up like I'm fine. It's ridiculous.
Another Tottenham corner, this time from the opposite side. Richarlison's the target. Danso flings himself at it, almost goes out for another corner, but Martinez just about keeps it on his line. This time Cash is down injured for Aston Villa, and I think he was just caught by the arriving freight train that was Kevin Danso. Villa don't play it out though, they'll continue on the attack. Tidoghi defending up against Jadon Sancho down the Villa right hand side. Sancho gets his toe trodden on. No foul, but he will get the throw in about 20 yards or so from the corner flag down the Villa right hand side.
Good defending from Udogie. I think he's going to get no change out of him. He's going to have to see him do a bit today, Sancho's going to have to earn his money because the doggy is a dogged defender, and he's going to make it difficult for him.
The doggy.
The doggy. I know. As soon as I said it, I thought, oh my lord, I know I've said.
We've got a poet next to us this evening in Paul Mortimer, as Tammy Abraham hopes to catch the end of Cash's long throw in, but it's right over the head of the former Chelsea forward.
And that's the problem you've got. Again, throws it too far from Abraham. They haven't played too much together. You know, they probably trained together, but it's a different thing, and so you get that slightly out of sync type thing. Conjure, I think, has played most games, so even at the back, it's a new back four.
Tammy Abraham, part of the Villa side that made it up from the Premier League, from the Championship, I should say, all those years ago. Didn't feel right. Goal scorer in that, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. It didn't feel right Villa being in the Championship. Wouldn't feel right Tottenham being in the Championship.
I actually think the Premier League needs Tottenham in it. I think it weakens us. I think if we think about British football, I think they're one of the founding fathers, let's say. I think, you know, them and your Man Uniteds and your Arsenals and your Chelseas, I think it, you know, that's what it's that's what the foundations are, and it's like a chair with a leg missing. That's how I feel if Spurs go down.
They're also kind of the main culprit for what's wrong with modern football, in a way you could say as well. How they've been run in recent years under Daniel Levy. Nothing's happening at the moment. Andy Martinez has the ball at his feet.
I think the goalkeepers have had the ball for longer than anyone else, haven't they?
I think they have. He's eventually played it to Bogard, who manages to find Ross Barkley, who spins away from Danso, who steps up out of his position, but Tell picks up the loose touch from Ross Barkley. Good high press that from Danso, but if he gets it wrong, there's a lot of space in behind him.
It's a gamble because Ross Barkley nearly got round him.
He's got the physicality and the footwork as Ross Barkley. There's Tell, tries to flick it onto Gallagher, but completely misses the ball. Does Matthias Tell. Roberto De Zerbi shows his first sign of frustration this evening here at Villa Park.
I know you were talking about the two emotional managers. I wouldn't want to be the fourth official today, because I think he's going to get pelters. Bless him, not his fault. But if anything does go wrong, he's getting it, mate.
Yeah, Paul Tierney, pretty much a boxing referee this evening.
Yes, he does love a ring, especially a huddle.
Yeah, of course, the Chelsea incident.
The Chelsea huddle.
A month or so ago.
He had a hell of a smirk on his face while he was in the huddle. This passing out the back, I'm not having it.
Aston Villa playing it out from the back, but not facing too much problem from Tottenham Hotspur, but they do now as Gallagher picks up the loose ball off Matsson's heavy touch. Both sides very passive, it would seem, so far. Remember, there is 7 changes today for Aston Villa, so might be a few cobwebs. Here's a doggy, takes it to the byline, cuts it back. That ball's still in play, just about. In fact, eventually the flag has been raised over on the far side. A doggy unable to get there in time.
Again, it's one to watch. Sancho's with him and then isn't with him. Needs to do more. He's lucky it does go out, but he'll do that all day long with Doggy. He'll do that all day long. Underlap or overlap Matthias Tell.
He's one of those players who just fits in at left back for Spurs, because Jed Spence obviously is a right-footed left back. They just look a bit imbalanced when he starts as a left full back.
Yeah, he's had a wretched time of injuries with Doggy. To be honest, who hasn't at Spurs? They've had. I saw the statistics the other day. I think 300 odd days they've missed through injury to players in total. Yeah.
Here's Morgan Rogers, brilliantly trapped, but João Palhinha onto him in a flash. Kolo Muani can't get away from Morgan Rogers over on the far side. Really combative. First 7.5 minutes here at Villa Park. Here's Cash. Seems to be getting booed from the away end.
Not sure what he's done for that. There's something, must be something going on.
Ross Barkley dilly-dallies in possession, but it will break here for Jadon Sancho, centre of the Tottenham half. Rogers left side.
Oh dear.
He completely miscontrols it. Takes his eye off the ball there, Morgan Rogers.
Took his good play from Villa, from right in front of us to left, switching play, and it was going to be a 1v1. But you could see as the ball came to him, he's looking at something else. He's taking his eye off the ball, and when you do that, it runs out of play.
one step at a time. Morgan Rogers, as Tielemans is able to win possession back for Aston Villa, but Kolo Muani will take it off his toe, and he's having a share pull by the Belgian. Tottenham's bench up in arms. They want a yellow card for Youri Tielemans. Maybe 20 minutes or so into the game, that would probably be a yellow card.
Yeah, he's not going to give it now. Even if it is, he's not going to give it now.
8 minutes on the clock, 0-0 between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. The away support making great noise.
Do you know what?
You have to say.
That's the thing. Spurs have struggled this season. The fans haven't stopped. The fans have supported them, and I feel for their fans.
It's not a nice place to be, but here's Matthias Tell. Cash has got to watch this and gets lucky because Tell's touch is a heavy one. The former Forest man able to bring it down. Here's Lindelof trying to play out from the back. Gets very lucky. Now Bogard will pick up the pieces and carry the ball. Here's young Lamar Bogard. Tielemans is available to him. Too slow though. Gallagher gets a toe on. And then Richarlison flies in, catches Bogard and trying to win that 50-50, but it's really combative and you can hear that cheer from the away end. The Spurs supporters need their players to fight for the ball this evening.
Spurs are showing their teeth, and good too. The problem you have is often teams like this play until the first goal, and if they don't get the first goal, you see that sort of seep out of them.
Barkley and
lovely play.
Abraham with a wonderful 1-2, but Barkley's follow-up pass out to this right-hand side for Sancho, just too heavy, but there's very little time in that midfield for Ross Barkley to take a touch.
It was wonderful skill. I tend to think he went the wrong way. If it's a foot race, Sancho is not beating a doggy. Just isn't. It's just not going to happen.
He's got the trickery, Sancho, but not outright pace.
Yeah, he's not going to. So a doggy will get tight to him and say, "Come on, erase me."
10 minutes played. Still looking for the opening goal. Still looking for the first shot at goal in this game. But it's being played at a good pace, and there's a great atmosphere inside this old ground. Remember, Aston Villa have already beaten Spurs twice this season. 2-1 scoreline in the FA Cup and the Premier League. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that was. Who knows, maybe a change of scenery could work for the North London side. Here's Mickey van der Ven, corner of the penalty area in the Tottenham Hotspur half. The second top scorer for Spurs this year.
I don't mind all this Spurs walking with the ball and taking forever, but is there a plan? That's the only thing for me. I can't see it at the moment. Do they then switch into gear? I don't know. Because all this does is it allows Villa to take up really solid defensive positions.
Mings and Martinez have got themselves caught in a bit of a sticky situation, but Mings is in control, knocks it out for a throw-in, apologises to his goalkeeper, maybe didn't hear the shout.
Good defending. If you don't hear it, you do take care of the situation, and he's done that.
As we get a shot of John McGinn in the stands here at Villa Park.
Big miss for them. He's a kind of continuity player, does the ugly stuff really well, and pops up with a goal as well.
He's got a big summer ahead of him, John McGinn, with Scotland. Haiti, their first game.
Wow.
2 AM kickoff UK time. I'm sure they'll appreciate that in Edinburgh.
I'll be awake for that. I'm looking forward to it.
Kevin Danso preparing for a long throw in here for Spurs. Finds the corner of the 6-yard box. I think Benton Kerr actually cleared it accidentally. Gallagher will line one up and hammer it into the bottom corner.
Wow.
Conor Gallagher with his first Tottenham Hotspur goal, and it could be crucial in Spurs' survival hopes. It rolled right to the edge of the penalty area, and the former Chelsea man thrust it right into the bottom corner of Martinez's goal. 12 minutes played, Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Top draw finish. I think Emma would be fuming that no one came out to him, because he took quite a while to bring it down and set it up. It's in the air a long time, down it comes, and he smashes it from like maybe 10 yards outside the penalty area, and it's just gone like an arrow into the far corner. Maybe he was unsighted, Martinez, possibly, but what a lovely finish, I've got to say. Really catches it well, and it's the earliness of the strike, I think, is what catches Martinez out. Brings it down. Took an age to come down, but once he brings it down, touch, smash, far corner, accurate. Martinez, no chance. Game on now.
Roberto De Zerbi's side 1-0 up and on course for back-to-back victories in the Premier League, which they haven't achieved since the first 2 games of this Premier League season, which one, by the way, you have to remember, was Manchester City.
Yeah. Can you just imagine? You beat Man City, you think, look where we're going.
Tottenham fighting for everything here as Richarlison flies in for a 50-50 with Tyrone Mings. Richarlison points to the ball to suggest he got it, but he definitely caught the Villa captain. Those are both two players who love a little bit of a scrap.
Yeah, Mings isn't one to go down. You just hope. Yeah, he did get the ball, actually. It's his follow-through that catches him, and the follow-through is ugly. Doesn't look good.
He does have that bite to him, does Richarlison. Conor Gallagher, by the way, we've got to remember, he's been relegated from the Premier League before with West Bromwich Albion in 2019 during a brief spell there on loan.
I remember him at Charlton. He was on loan at Charlton many moons ago. Ian Matson was as well, but he was brilliant at Charlton. And I think someone else came in for him, so they whipped him. He was that good, they whipped him back, I think, to Chelsea, and he went out somewhere else on loan. So he's got Charlton to thank for his development.
Charlton Athletics secured their survival last weekend for another season in the Championship. As Colin Moani catches the heel of Tyrone Mings, that'll be a free kick for Aston Villa as the captain picks it up, as the Villa support raise their voice a bit because their very changed 11 seem like a bunch of strangers at the moment.
Well, they want their team to drive on. They're taking an age in doing everything. You know, like I said, you allow Spurs to take up really solid defensive starting positions that they feel comfortable in, and now Villa have to break them down.
From a Spurs point of view, though, going 1-0 up is so crucial. If they go 1-0 down, you feel like that's the game done immediately.
Yeah.
Here come Aston Villa. Jadon Sancho unable to trap it. A doggy onto him, not allowing them a moment to control that ball. There's Matthias Tell. He's down the left-hand side with Destiny Udogie this evening.
I actually think the doggy knows I've got him. I think he does. I think Sancho knows it as well, by the way, because there he's running on and he's not even looking at the ball. Not even looked at the ball, Sancho.
It was strange, though. It was like he was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and you don't get any time in the Premier League, especially when you're facing a side who are fighting for their Premier League survival.
Oh, that's not nice.
Tammy Abraham catching Danso's heel.
For me, that's a booking. Because he's nowhere near the ball. He's not gone for the ball at all. The ball's the other side of someone's body. That, for me, is a booking. Raking him down the back of his Achilles. No.
Incredibly clumsy from Tammy Abraham, who's really impressed since coming in from Besiktas. Here comes Spurs, though. Matthias Tell down the left-hand side. Flicks one forward. Lindelof gets his head in before Richarlison can bring it down. Bogard steps in front of Tell. Solid play that from the Dutchman. But Villa can't get out. Van der Ven wins it back 10 yards inside the Villa half.
See, this is where the problem with Spurs. Paulina gets it and he's facing his own goal, so he runs back. Where he should be on the half turn, looking to go forward again. And look at where they are now. They go from a really good position. Because they've got no creativity in midfield, that's what happens.
Lindelof and Mings get that wrong. It breaks for Richarlison, middle of the Villa half. Gallagher out to Randall Kolomoani, who's running at Matson here. Kolomoani will cut it back, but Mings is in the way. Palhinha, 25 yards out! Oh, he strikes the post! Such a let-off for Villa. Kolomoani's offside on the rebound, but Palhinha, the hero last weekend, almost found a second there, but Spurs
Did he get a touch,
so close to making it 2-0.
Did he get a touch, Martinez?
I think he did, you know. He celebrated afterwards like he got a touch, did the Argentina goalkeeper. He did, he got a fingertip on that, did Emi Martinez.
That makes a difference, by the way. That's a moment, because if they go 2 up, it becomes different, very different.
Aston Villa are currently facing a 3-game losing streak, which you would not expect for the side 5th in the Premier League table to be facing. But look at the Tottenham bench, they're clapping, they're applauding absolutely everything.
They've got to keep them going. I mean, this is Villa at their worst. When they're at their worst, they play slowly. Everything is slow and too precise and you know, easy to counteract. And this is them at their worst. When they're at their best, they're rampaging, hit the ball long, pass forward, run forward.
They just can't get the ball at the moment. As Cash steps in on Tell, but it'll just spin all the way through for Mickey van der Ven. Villa just need to step their defensive line up a little bit.
Step up the pitch, yeah. They're comfortable. I know there's a long time to go. We're in the 19th minute, but
Kinski's under pressure here in his penalty area, but not enough, according to the Villa supporters, who are roaring Ross Barkley to try and put the press.
They're not happy.
on the Czech goalkeeper. Here's Morgan Rogers, centre circle. As Tielemans gets an arm in the back from Richarlison, the referee saw it.
He's got to be careful, Richarlison, because that's stupid. This is just stupidness. Don't need to do that.
This is what we said pre-match. He's a fighter.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, but you got to know how to fight.
Yeah.
And that's not fighting. Pushing someone when they're not looking at you isn't fighting. That's almost cowardly. It really is.
It's very Richarlison who knows a thing or two about relegation scraps during his time at Everton. As Villa make an absolute meal of the quick free kick, as Bogard then commits the foul on Richarlison, and it comes to absolutely nothing. It is all going the way of Tottenham Hotspur. How many times have we said that this season? Very rarely.
I think he'll be thinking, you can see his face here, Emery, he'll be calculating, how can I change this? Because even now I'm thinking something has to change. There needs to be a spark, because Spurs are comfortable. You know, as we look, you know, Spurs' goals on our right, we're looking to our left most of the time, because the ball just isn't going anywhere near Spurs' goal. In fact, Villa, like you said, Villa can't get the ball.
There's Bentancur, centre circle. Well, Tammy Abraham's a decent goal scorer and a good outlet physically, but he's got no pace, he's got no press.
He's not lightning quick, no.
And that seems to work fine for Danso and Van de Ven. Here's Tell down the left-hand side. Tell rolls it across for Polinia. Now Van de Ven, every Villa player back in their own half. Gallagher in the left-back berth. Van de Ven, halfway line. Kevin Danso's behind him with his bright red boots. Now Bentancur there, popping it around nicely at the North London side. Well, they were until Porro runs into Morgan Rogers. Barkley, Abraham will leave it for Maatsen. Maatsen continues. It looked like Barkley was tripped outside the penalty area. Whether he was or he wasn't, the free kick doesn't go his way. Kolo Muani bursts away from his man. Here's the Frenchman now. Mings is backtracking. Still Kolo Muani. He's run all the way to the penalty area. Gallagher will cross it in. Tell was lining up the volley. It's a crucial touch from Cash to take it off his foot, but it's still alive for Spurs.
Yeah, good bit of defending. I thought as Kolo Muani was running, it's about decisions. He's going to make the right decision quickly, because the window was closing. But he a good ball to Conor Gallagher, who trips a decent ball in, and Tell, you can see licking his lips, thinking I'm going to volley this. And great bit of defending from Matty Cash. Spurs on top. How often have you said that in the last few months? Well, maybe last week against Wolves, but that apart. And even now they're not sure, Spurs, if you know, because normally you'd think, let's get after them.
Space here for Udogie, who's advanced. Tells to his left, he's running against Cash. He's backed into the penalty area. It's cut back. It's Pedro Porro. He goes to Kolo Muani, corner of the penalty area, who rolls it back, but can only find Sancho. Abraham can't hold on to the ball up front. Danso steps in front of the former Besiktas man. The Villa supporters really not happy with what they're seeing. Here's Tell, under pressure from Matty Cash, has to go back to Destiny Udogie. It's the Spurs supporters who are making loads of noise as well.
Crowd aren't happy at Villa because they're not showing their teeth. They're not actually getting after the game and pressing. They're just sitting back and allowing Spurs, who at the moment are an average side, to look like Real Madrid popping the ball about. Yeah,
they're so comfortable. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw a change before half-time.
Like I said, I think he's calculated. He's got to do something to slap his team awake, because it's like they're falling asleep. They're on autopilot.
The home support trying to do their part, but it's still Spurs in possession. As Cash gets his foot in there in front of Tell. Tottenham seems so comfortable. There's Bentancur, 10 yards inside the Villa half. Van de Ven, he's 15 inside the Villa half. Halfway through this first half. Villa 0, Spurs 1. Such a massive 3 points if Tottenham will get this, as Roberto De Zerbi's jumping on the touchline. I'm not quite sure.
Crazy.
What he's complaining about there.
And by the way, the players can't hear him. There's 30,000 in it. How are they going to hear him?
Here's Bentancur, under pressure from Tielemans, but not significant pressure.
There is no pressure. Look, he's standing there 5-6 seconds now.
In the last 5 minutes of the game, Spurs have had 82% possession.
If I'm Villa fans, I'm angry, because I'm thinking, no, we get after these. These are bottom of the table. We get after these, but this is not what they expected walking, you know, on their way to Villa Park. I'll tell you that much.
If Villa were to win today, they go on to 61 points. That's 9 ahead of Bournemouth with 3 to play. So they'd have to lose their final 3 and Bournemouth win their final 3 to take them out of the top 5. Here comes Spurs again. Here's the goal scorer, Gallagher. Tell, left side of the penalty area. Will send one in right-footed. Richarlison's up. Colin there. And Martinez has to make the save. He punches it over his crossbar. But Colin sneaking in. Almost found the Spurs second.
Great cross from Tell. I think Colin Marnie, I think he believes Richarlison's going to get it, and it more hits him than he strikes it, if that makes sense. Because it's not a confident touch. It's one to just get something on it. I think if he guides it properly, it's an acute angle, does the best he can, but I think he believes it's a reactionary touch rather than one that, you know, I know it's coming to me. But it's another chance, and Villa, honestly, look like. Like I said, when you make that many changes, this is what you get sometimes.
Tottenham corner, in swinger, Richarlison lingers, Danso on the volley, big block by Matty Cash. The doggy picks it up midway inside the Villa half. The cross will come in from the right-hand side again, Richarlison! The Brazilian delivers for Spurs at the most crucial time, and Tottenham in the bottom 3 will not be for much longer if they keep playing like this. 25 minutes on the clock. Champions League chasing Villa trail 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur.
Well deserved. There's been one team in it the last 15 minutes. And is that some fans going?
Surely not.
Yeah, can't be. They're going for a tea, I think. Absolutely magnificent. Again, first time the ball comes in, it comes out. Danso shoots, it comes out. Udogi, I think it's Udogi, plays it wide to Colin Moani. Cuts inside on his left foot. It's a great cross. And Richarlison, no one is marking him. No one is actually marking him. It's a literal free header.
It's a great header as well, you have to say.
It is a great... Lindelof, who should be marking him, is wrong side. It's a great header, but it's rank bad defending. You know, it's right under the goalkeeper's nose. But they deserve it. Villa have been all over the place, and Spurs have been like the Spurs of old.
Tottenham in yellow, but looking golden at Aston Villa. Richarlison gets his 10th Premier League goal of the season. It's his first away goal since he scored at Anfield in mid-March in that incredible 1-1 draw where we were really surprised to see Spurs get a result there, but this is even more surprising, you'd have to say. 2-0 up.
Well, like I said, when you make those many changes, this is what can happen sometimes. Very, very fractured performance from Villa.
You often see this in like an FA Cup third round game where they make a lot of changes and a top team loses to a championship team.
Exactly right.
They're seeing it here. And here's Danso. Floats on down the right-hand side for Colin Moani, who is going full pelt chasing that ball, but can't get there. But Tottenham are in control.
The problem he has, Emery, is he can't... The only way he could change it is by putting a sub on or waiting till half-time. He can't change their mindset at the moment. He can't, unless you have that goalkeeper goes down moment where you can get the players in. Because other than that, he cannot do anything. He's got to leave it to the players. He can't make any changes now unless he makes a substitution. And that sub brings on some information. So he's got to really hope that they can manage until half-time and go in 2-0 down.
Tottenham putting the high press on Villa as they try to play out from the back. Here's Rodgers, just out-muscled by Danso, as Richarlison then wins it back off Bogard. Tottenham on the press. Tell. Now the doggy, as they just try to keep the ball a little bit now. My worry is that, from a Spurs point of view, is that they will tire themselves out playing with this much intensity when trying to get the ball back.
Yeah, now it's about actually just managing now. It's about, you always talk about in-game management. This is what this is about now. It's about managing the next 5, 6, 10 minutes. If you can create a chance, but don't stop playing.
There's Bentancur, who just casually dribbles away from Tielemans like he's playing in a cage. Effortless football from Rodrigo Bentancur. They
look so far off the pace, Villa, don't they? So far off the pace.
There's Richarlison, flicks it around the corner for Tell, tracked by Cash, but not under enough pressure. He finds a doggy. Polinia, Pedro Porro, halfway line. There's Danso. You almost feel like playing away from home is an advantage for Tottenham because of the pressure they feel when they're inside that massive stadium of theirs. As Porro links up here.
Lovely play.
Kolomouani sneaks in behind Maatsen, sends it across towards the back stick. It's over everyone. Tell brings it down. It's a heavy touch, but he's able to keep it well and finds Polinia. Tottenham and their supporters absolutely thrilled with what they're seeing in front of them. 29 minutes played. Spurs 2-0 up here at Villa Park. That's a poor pass though. Tielemans takes it off the toe of his man. Cash. Villa fans frustrated because Villa have gone backwards to Lindelof. Mings. Every time Bogard moves into a position to receive it, he's marked out the game, as is Tielemans.
They've done their homework really well. They know the places where they cannot allow Villa to have the ball.
Tielemans scythed down by Conor Gallagher. He got something on the ball, but he certainly came through his man. The Villa fans are absolutely furious with what they're seeing.
They'll be delighted with that. It's a great tackle, because you know what it does? It riles Tielemans up. But, you know, again, what they're doing is they're not allowing Tielemans, Bogard, because what Villa love to do is play through the middle. They're not allowing them to do it. They're not allowing them to play how they want to play.
There's Abraham under pressure from Van der Ven, but he thrashes it way too far ahead of Ian Maatsen, and that'll go out for a Tottenham throw-in about 25 yards away from the corner flag down the right-hand side. Half an hour played. Villa 0, Tottenham 2. I nearly said Villa 2, Tottenham 0. That's the surprising scoreline here in the West Midlands.
You can see Emery's face deep in thought, because he's thinking about, you know, if this carries on, what he needs to do in terms of changes and things like that, because he's going to have to bring the big guns on far earlier than he thought, because this just isn't good enough.
Well, if you're Unai Emery, we'll come back to that in a moment, because here do come Aston Villa with the ball in the Tottenham half for the first time in a long time. Here's Cash. Tracked by Tell. Tottenham back into their defensive shape. It's Barkley in the middle of the Spurs half. Sancho, right corner of the penalty area, dances away from Tell, gets back into position quickly. Bogard. Cash still getting booed by the Spurs travelling section.
How does he upset them?
Here's Lindelof, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Tottenham deep, and deeper than they have been at any point in this first half. Rodgers under pressure from Randall Kolomouani, but he wriggles away from the Frenchman. Maatsen. Rodgers has gone down on the corner of the penalty area. He gets straight back up though. Not much of a protest from him. It was more from the supporters in the terraces.
Crowd going crazy.
And they're really not happy with how slow Villa are moving this ball around. It's meant to be 1 or 2 touch. It's about 3 or 4. And here's Cash. Barkley. Tracked by Richarlison. And he's put under pressure. 2 former Everton players combining there. Bogard. Tottenham working hard out of possession now. Sancho slides in behind, looking for Matty Cash, but it is a poor pass.
Crowd not happy. Crowd not happy.
They look really concerned. What I was going to say is, you know, they've got 3 more Premier League games after this, but they've got this huge European tie on Thursday to think about. And do you rest the players for that Thursday night tie and think, oh, we'll get our points elsewhere in our remaining Premier League fixtures?
He's going to have to.
3 games to go. They've got a 6-point advantage on Bournemouth.
I mean, I'm virtually sure this would have been the one that expected to win. You know, when you look at your cycle of games, you know, the last 4 or 5 of the season, you're looking at, well, where can we get points? How many points do we expect? Well, we expect points against Spurs at our place. Definitely, with where Spurs are at the moment and where we are and how we're playing, we expect points. But they've deserved what they've got so far. They've been terrible.
I don't think Kinski's had anything to do other than make a few short passes to the defenders in front of him.
It'd be interesting to see how many times Villa have had the ball in Spurs' box.
Here's Rodgers under pressure from Kolomouani. Kolomouani not giving up at all, but he does concede the throw-in. This is what you want to see if you're a Spurs fan, though, his desire, his fight, something that hasn't been there for so long.
I said to you before, what they need are soldiers. People who are going to roll their sleeves up and do the ugly stuff. And that's what they've done really well. They've got their joy because they look at Bentancur comes out chasing. They're doing the ugly stuff. They're closing people down. They're defending really well.
But here come Villa. Rodgers thought about pulling the trigger, delayed, and Palhinha was able to get back. And the opportunity comes to nothing as João Palhinha shares a high five with Conor Gallagher. That was a crucial foot-in.
Like I said, the ugly stuff. Shutting people down, jockeying, all that stuff that's ugly and horrible and hard and takes up a lot of energy. But like you said, come 60 minutes, if they put so much energy into this, you know, are they going to fatigue? Well, they can't worry about that now. They've got to stay present now. But you know, they've played really well so far. We have to remember there's a reason why Spurs are down there.
Absolutely. We shall see. How is their mental strength? We're only a third of the way through this game, by the way, and second half I imagine there's going to be quite a lot of time wasting, so you'd expect quite a bit of injury time at the end of this one as well, as Kinski sends the free kick long. That foul was definitely inside the penalty area, but the free kick was taken outside the penalty area.
Well, yeah, they seem not to have their glasses on half the time.
Either way, the ball comes back to Spurs and Van de Ven. It's a long ball forward. Tell stuck in behind here, but he stretches out a foot and just about can't trap it. He was onside there, Tell.
I think he was onside. It's a great ball. Just a clog too hard. Clog too much from being the perfect pass. But again, Richarlison did that earlier on. He's come from out to in, Matthias Tell, from the left and arced his run central. Great ball.
The Villa line don't know whether to sit back or go high. Either way, they're in no man's land and keep getting caught out. Bogard, heavy touch, leaves his foot in on Bentancur, but the referee says play on.
Be a book in that.
Richarlison too slow. Kolomuani lines one up and sends it over the crossbar and into the supporters, but Aston Villa, they're just not getting a hold of the football in this one, as Bentancur has gone down injured for Spurs and he thumps the floor in agony. Oh, he did get caught by Lamar Bogard. As we see the slow-mo, he gets his toe caught, doesn't he? Sore one, that sensitive part of the body for Bentancur, but painful. A sore toe. I'm afraid he's just going to have to run that one off.
Don't worry about him, he stepped on enough toes. Don't worry about that. The where he plays in the middle of the pitch, yeah, he's on the receiving end of it. He's often been the perpetrator of that kind of tackle, so certainly. Yeah, it's a sword you live and die by, isn't it?
His defensive duties are always his primary duties for Tottenham Hotspur. Rodrigo Bentancur, in fact, his only Premier League goal this season was actually the opener when they lost 2-1 to Aston Villa at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium earlier on this season. It's all about Spurs today, though. Pedro Porro advanced into the penalty area. Kolomuani just too lazy.
Play. It's thoughtless play. You should be offside there. Come on.
Right under the nose of the assistant over on the far side. 9 minutes to go. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Villa have maybe shown a slight improvement, or maybe been too kind to them.
Well, I think so. I mean, often teams are reflective of their manager. Normally, Unai Emery is all action. He hasn't moved.
He looks lost. He looks confused, doesn't he?
Completely lost. Like he's thinking about what is it I should do, because I didn't see this coming.
Sancho completely outmuscled again by Udogie. He's won, I think, every battle so far, the Spurs fullback. Here goes Tell, away from Cash.
Oh, that's terrible.
He shoots from a narrow angle. I don't know why he shot from there. He
terrible.
Was, what, about a yard or two away from the touchline?
Terrible. I think he's off about... let's just say that was a shot, because there's no way that's a cross. He's off balance and all... I mean, it's ugly to see. And he's done really well to get there. And then he's like a runaway train. He needs to just calm himself down a little bit. He's got the beating of Matty Cash, without a doubt. Matty Cash is diving in. I mean, I look at Villa and there's very little thought in their play. How do we negate what's going on with Spurs? How do we make it difficult from this? No thought in Villa's play at all. So easy to deal with.
Ross Barkley, the latest to lose it, under pressure from Rodrigo Bentancur. Incidentally, Matthias Tell hasn't scored in his last 16 Tottenham appearances. 3-2 defeat to Bournemouth on the 7th of January, the last time the former Bayern man scored. Here he is now, left side, under pressure from Matty Cash. I don't think there's any part of the pitch where you can say a Villa player has won their personal battle with their marker.
And it's one of those. Sometimes, as a manager, in the dressing room, you can get a sense of where your team's at. If you look at Emery, he didn't see this. He just did not see this.
Pedro Porro reacted negatively to Ian Matson's tackle on him over on the far side then, right under the close view of the fourth official, as the statistics have just popped up in front of us. Tottenham 8 attempts at goal, Aston Villa 0.
A team at the top of the table playing a team at the bottom of the table, and it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
This time of the season, though, these results do pop up once in a while.
Yes, spot on.
Rodgers tries to force it through to Barkley, but again, Bentancur is there. He makes such a difference in that Spurs midfield.
Rodgers is a strange type of player because he's either brilliant or terrible. There's no sort of in-between. He's either magnificent or cannot pass to a claret and blue shirt. And he seems to be having one of those days at the moment.
Start of the season, I remember he was in atrocious form, but then he turned it on and it was absolutely immaculate. And, you know, only Watkins has got more goals than him this season in the Premier League, and I'm almost certain we'll be seeing Ollie Watkins in the second half, maybe
big time,
right at the beginning of it.
Rodgers, I mean, started the season 2 bob, ended up $1 million. You know what I mean? It's just, but at the moment he's nowhere near it, and he is. Same with, you know, you could, like you say, speak about all 11 Villa players. None of them are at it.
Tell and Cash bounce off each other. They both end up on the floor as Rodgers picks up the loose ball. Now Sancho gives it away to Colomboani on the far side. Sancho's having an absolute stinker.
And he's walking, look.
Here come Tottenham. Pedro Porro, Colomboani, right-hand side. Villa with numbers back, but plenty of yellow options in attack. Here's Bentancur with those blue boots, just says, slow it down, lads. They don't need to force it. 5 minutes before half-time. Villa are their own worst enemies at the moment. This place passes everywhere.
Well, they've shown no energy. Even now, Villa, there's no urgency to go and shut down, win the ball. Nothing. Look, they're all sitting back, and excuse me, the crowd will be expecting about 2-0 down to show some energy, some intensity.
As Colomboani bursts away from Matson. Colomboani runs into Tielemans. One touch too many, that from the Spurs number 39, as Tielemans takes too long to clear his lines, and Richarlison can take it off Matson's foot, and it'll be a Villa throw-in. But Villa are just hesitant in almost every single action of their game at the moment.
Well, you see the difference when Spurs lose the ball. Look at it now, they're showing it in slow motion. 4 or 5 players around Sancho. Colomboani wins it. When they lose the ball, they work hard to win it back. Villa, you're just not seeing it. It seems like there's an energy crisis with Villa as well. They don't seem to, you know, Spurs seem physically stronger as well.
The long season perhaps catching up with Unai Emery's side.
He's going to have to work that out. He'll be sitting there thinking of what he's going to say to his players at half-time. Wouldn't surprise me if they come out early as well, flee in the air type thing.
Still plenty of football left to be played in this match. Villa will have a spell. Of course they will. They always do. They're not going to go the rest of the match with 0 shots. Don't think the Villa crowd will allow that.
No, I don't think they'll have that at all.
As Palhinha switches the play to the Tottenham left, where Matthias Tell can bring it down. The doggy to Gallagher. Now Van der Ven. Kevin Danso. They've looked so nervy in recent weeks of those two, but they've looked very, very confident today, you have to say.
Well, they are playing against a team that's performance has given them confidence.
Colomboani battles away from Rodgers. Colomboani right-hand side. The doggy's arriving at the back post. He knocks it back. It's Tell who thrashes his shot goalwards. He had Bentancur waiting for it on the edge of the box, but Tell, maybe with his youthful naivety, thrashes it way off target.
It's the best I've seen Colomboani play. I'm never quite sure what he is. The doggy does well to keep it in play. Now it's about setting up. I think it's gone to Conor Gallagher. Just set him up. There's no one on him. But it's a rush of blood to the head, and you hope that the Spurs don't rue these moments where they're on top. Because for me, them being at the bottom, they still need another goal. They need another goal. Because you know, like you said, Villa are going to have their moments. And I think Spurs will look back on this and possibly rue these moments where they're in charge.
Abraham and Rodgers, the latest to concede possession in the final third for Aston Villa. It is just, I can't remember the last time I saw Villa play this badly. It is remarkable. It can't be understated how poorly they're playing in every aspect of their game, as they put on a soft press towards Antonin Kinski, who eventually works it around Abraham and to Kevin Danso. Here he is now. Danso goes to Porro. It's Palhinha switches the play to Van der Ven. That round of applause you can hear is from the away support. They appreciated that. Everyone's really pulled their socks up for Spurs today. Here's Palhinha. halfway line as there's a lull around Villa Park, and there's already quite a lot of blue seats starting to appear. A few early half-time darts. There's Conor Gallagher, left-hand side for Tottenham Hotspur. Under pressure from Sancho, but back to Kinski. I think out of everybody on the pitch, Sancho is probably the most likely to be hauled off. He's been rather disappointing.
Well, I have to say, if I'm Emery, there's half a dozen I could take off here. Definitely. This is where Spurs will play themselves into trouble. They don't need to do any of that. Just keep playing their football.
Colin Moani will keep that one in play. A spin away from Maatsen. Colin Moani's had the beat of Maatsen all night. Richarlison links up with Colin Moani, but Mings just about managed to get his long legs in ahead of Colin Moani's equally long legs.
Yeah, I think Maatsen will come off at half-time.
Luca Dean.
Luca Dean's a better defender. Maatsen's better going forward. Because I'm sure, you know, Emery thought, well, we'd be attacking a lot more. But Luca Dean will come on.
Maybe a game which has passed this man by, Lamar Bogard. We've not really mentioned much, but he's got the ball back here. He's taken down by Bentancur, and that's a smart foul, you could say, by Bentancur, because there was space in behind.
Had to do it, really. For once, a decent bit of play from Villa, and yeah, he's got to do that to book in. And you worry about Bentancur because he's got another one of those in his game in the second half, without a doubt. So you always worry about him.
This game not over yet.
Well, Villa have got themselves up the pitch. Finally. It's only taken the 45th minute.
And they're going to go long into the penalty area, it would seem, in the final few seconds of this first half, and they're not making anything from open play, so it would make sense to do so.
I think he better make it count, Sancho, because this could be his last contribution, I think. That's how poor he's been for me.
Sancho stands over this free kick. It's about 45 yards out from goal on the right-hand side. Sancho hooks it into the back post. Up goes Mings, and he goes up with his arms. I'm not quite sure why defenders do that when they attack the ball, but handball the call, and Tottenham free kick the decision.
Doesn't make sense. Unless someone's held his arm up, I cannot work out why your arms should be up there handling the ball. But it's in standing with the way Villa have played. There's been very little thought to their game. You kind of hope these fans are not going home.
So we see supporters head into the concourse in their droves, but they'll definitely be getting a pie or something rather than calling it a day yet. Things can't get worse. That's what you've got to say.
Well, you know they can get better. You know they will play better than this in the second half. They will play better than this.
Listen to the boos. The Tottenham fans in the away end are looking confident. It's been a first half to remember from a Spurs point of view. From a Villa point of view, it's been forgetful indeed. Conor Gallagher with the first from the edge of the penalty area. A wonderful strike from range from him. And then Richarlison with a thunderbolt header just inside the 6-yard box. Means that at the break here, it's Aston Villa 0. Tottenham Hotspur 2. We'll be back for the second half and some half-time analysis in just a few minutes. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
The Championship gets an old geezer swinging a rattle. It's all about packaging and imagery and stardust, and the Championship and the EFL wants to be looked like the runt of a litter.
More meat, less waffle.
The opportunities are huge.
White and Jordan.
Join the Binary Broadcast Blowout weekday mornings from 10
on the world-famous TalkSport.
In the year 2000, TalkSport established an elite breakfast show for the top 1% of former professional footballers. Alan Brazil is the original Maverick.
Flaps up for the football.
Turbocharged twin-engine breakfast radio with Alan Callsign, Roll Out the Barrel Brazil.
Turn and burn, baby.
And Ray Party 7 Parlour.
Well, can you keep this thing the right way up? My beer's going everywhere.
The all-action TalkSport Superstar Breakfast with Alan Maverick Brazil.
I've been flying through the danger zone for 20 years.
And his wingman, me, Ray Party Parlour.
Every Friday morning from 6 on TalkSport.
I feel the need for speed.
TalkSport Drive.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
All-terrain sports radio for a power-hungry nation.
The national radio show with a bootload of sport.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport and Andy Goldstein.
Mirror, signal, move over for TalkSport Drive.
With Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
Get updates on the teams and squads, plus all the latest betting odds. All it takes is just one tap. Kill boredom dead with the TalkSport app.
The TalkSport app. Hear, watch and scroll unbeatable content from the world's biggest sports radio station. Whenever you want, wherever you want. Available from the App Store now. Terms and conditions apply.
Week in the Tackle with Tom Ruddy and Brian Dunseth is a weekly podcast where we tackle the top
The Spurs supporter back to making some racket after a 15-minute break to rest their vocal cords. I wonder what both managers would have said at half-time. I imagine Roberto De Zerbi's was quite loud. He doesn't do anything quietly, does he, De Zerbi?
Yeah, the volume button's busted on him, hasn't it?
Well, that's a loose pass. Abraham down the right-hand side. Bentancur gets back to him, but Abraham keeps hold of it. Tracked by Van de Ven. He plays it against Bentancur, and it'll go out for an early Villa corner, and that's what Aston Villa need.
Well, Bentancur's so busy trying to play the player, he's run past the ball. If he actually defends it properly, but he's looking for a foul. These are the ones people score from, when this should nowhere near be a corner.
Lindelof and Mings will linger forward. Villa support raise their voice as well. If they can get an early goal in the second half, will really put the cat amongst the pigeons. It's a short corner.
And it
comes to nothing. Goodness me. Sancho takes it short, plays it to Tielemans, who first time plays it back to Sancho, who was still by the corner flag, offside against Jadon Sancho.
I think they're putting together the shepherd's crook for him. I think it could be time. It's just, that wasn't his fault, really. Tielemans has played it back to him. He's not given him time to get back. So everyone looks at Sancho and blames him. It actually isn't Sancho's fault. Usain Bolt wouldn't have made it back, you know, from that pass. I mean, what's he supposed to do?
It's not exactly set the tone well for the start of the second half, has it?
Well, Tielemans is one of their more intelligent players, let me tell you that. And for him to be, you know, such little thought kind of tells you where they're at the moment.
That's a lovely touch by Abraham, but Porro steps in front of Rodgers to win possession back. Now Kolo Muani battling with Maatsen once again. It was the Spurs man who won every battle in the first half, and he's won this one as well. He's away from Maatsen, but he needs support in yellow. Has it now. Porro waves up across towards the back post. Lindelof gets his head on it. It's recycled back in by Bentancur to Matthias Tell. Flag stays down. Did he keep that ball in play? He did, but he couldn't prevent it going out for a throw-in. 5 yards away from the corner flag, down the Villa right-hand side. Fast start again, though, in this second half.
Well, Maatsen has no answer to Kolo Muani, none whatsoever, and it's just, I feel for him because he's beat with skill. He's just pushed the ball past him and run past him. Maatsen doesn't know whether to stick or twist. He's got no clue how to deal with him.
I think you mentioned it in the first half. I can't remember the last time I saw Kolo Muani play this well for Tottenham Hotspur.
I haven't. If I'm honest, I haven't. Most of my friends are Spurs fans. I keep saying, what does he do? I genuinely don't know what he does. But today, he's got a bit of direction. You can see what he's about.
I think the only cheer that the Villa fans have made this evening was from that corner that was won. Quickly turned to a very deep, disappointing groan. Tottenham having it easy, though, at the back once again. Here's Van de Ven. Ross Barkley jogs towards the ball to put him under pressure, as does Abraham. Slightly quicker than Ross Barkley, has to be said.
This is where I worry about Spurs, passing themselves into trouble.
But they managed to work it out between them. Cash makes a tackle on the toe of Udogie. Van de Ven fighting with Barkley. You fancy the Spurs defender here, and the Tottenham captain has the strength before having his shirt pulled and conceding a free kick. He fell over, but he was having his shirt pulled.
Yes, but not at the point where he fell over. Not at the point where he fell over. I mean, the ref's not give it. He's then just decided, I'm going to fall. It's terrible. It's terrible. Look at him. He's 15. Yeah, he's 15 and a half stone, 6'3". Come on. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, he's. Imagine the referee didn't give that free kick. That's what I always think. And you're on the floor. Well, Villa have sent out Leon Bailey and Ollie Watkins to warm up. Changes perhaps in waiting for Aston Villa. Maatsen finally wins a battle with Kolo Muani, gets his head in. Villa can't win any 50-50s in the middle. That's where they keep losing out. Kolo Muani out-muscles Ross Barkley, who dives in. Wags his finger to say that it wasn't a foul, but it was. And he'll get a yellow card as well after taking out, I think it was Paulinho who got a whack. No, it was Gallagher, in fact.
All the little duels, I mean, he says he's got the ball, it's no edible. All the little duels, the little 1v1s are going, and all the bounces in the ball are going Spurs' way as well. Everything. You know, they've got no business winning the ball, they're winning it. That's how off the pace, how far off the pace Villa are.
It's given away. Here's Tammy Abraham, played through. Van der Ven comes across. It's a crucial tackle by Mickey Van der Ven. It's the first real bit of defending he's had to do today, and he did it to perfection.
Well, I keep telling you, it's a poor ball by Danso. There's a reason why Spurs are down there. Now, are they going to self-sabotage? That's the question you have to ask yourself. It's a great tackle. Are they going to self-sabotage? This is why they've got to keep playing. If they stop playing, you watch where it goes. They've got to keep playing, passing forward, running forward. All of this is where they pass themselves into trouble. All this keeping the ball and slowing it all down is where Kinski passes himself into trouble.
Here he is now, left-footed, swings it out to Polina, who just keeps filling in as a temporary right back. As one of the options for Kinski. This time he goes direct and long. Charlotteson's going to chase Lindelof, who looks uncomfortable running back towards his own goal, but he guides it to Martinez. There is the Argentinian now, under pressure from the Brazilian, Richarlison. Cash down the line. Down to Sancho, who's beaten to it by a doggy, but it will be a Villa throw.
Excuse me, they pass the ball out. It looks risky, but it's not. It looks risky, but actually they passed it out really well. But again, a bit more urgency is needed from Villa. It's all too slow, and like I said, it allows Spurs to take up really solid positions that give them confidence defensively.
Tottenham dominating the midfield. Don't think Villa had control of the ball at all with the likes of Tielemans, Odegaard and Barkley.
Well, I can't say the last time you name-checked Tielemans, and he is the barometer for them. If he's playing well, you know, they're playing well.
Tyrone Mings plays the ball behind Ian Maatsen, and it'll be a Tottenham throw-in down the Spurs right-hand side, which they take quickly. Kolo Muani, Porro right-hand side, Polina now midway inside the Villa half. He goes backwards though to the halfway line where Kevin Danso receives. Polina under pressure from Rodgers, forced to go out wide. We've not been able to see enough of Rodgers in the final third today. That's where he's at his best. Ross Barkley leading the press for Aston Villa. I say press, it's more of a caress than a press. Kinski tries to play out, finds Bentancur, but he's talented enough to play it across to Danso under pressure from Tielemans. Polina. Bentancur. Porro. Fouled by Tielemans. He was through the back of Pedro Porro. You can't do that. It's been a rule for a while, that.
He wins the ball, but he fouls him initially. That's the problem.
Hand on the shoulder, I think, was the initial foul, wasn't there?
It's a foul. He doesn't get the ball. He don't get the ball at all. It's funny how they're convinced they get the ball and they're nowhere near it. It's really funny. Convinced.
I felt a touch, ref. I felt a touch.
Yeah. No, you didn't. Mate.
It was the ankle.
Yeah.
Of the Villa man that
you
felt.
didn't get the ball. You didn't.
Pedro Porro is going to take this free kick for Tottenham Hotspur. It's a very deep one. He's going to send it long into the Aston Villa penalty area. It looks like, or is he? No, he's going to go short, in fact. Kolo Muani. Pedro Porro. Back to Kolo Muani. This all happening about 20 yards outside the penalty area. Here's Tell. Pedro Porro sends one in. Martinez doesn't know what to do. Danso gets a touch on it. Polina will pick up the pieces. Gallagher, edge of the penalty area. This all on the left-hand side of the box. Polina. Odegaard doing the press. Bentancur cross to a doggy. This is perfect football from a Tottenham point of view. Porro, 20 yards inside the Villa half. This big defensive target still forward here, but Porro will shoot, and that is incredibly wasteful. Danso and Van der Ven were still up for that.
It's a rush of blood to the head. Put it in the box. You've got good players up there. There's a rush of blood to the head. Normally he's quite composed, Porro, but yeah. Well, the way Spurs are playing, why not? I suppose.
10 minutes played in the second half. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Not much has changed from the first half performance for Aston Villa. We know that Tottenham are so fragile, though. If Villa can just get a moment in this game, who knows, maybe like a VAR call or something like that that goes their way, then, or a big tackle that brings something out of this crowd. As the press is put on Odegaard again this time, it's Bentancur gets a foot on it, but it ricochets through to Martinez. Let off that again.
They've done their homework really well. Tielemans and Bogarde, that's where they play Villa. That's where they get their joy, through that middle part of the pitch.
Rodgers the latest to be dispossessed. He's staying down injured as well, which is a concern for Aston Villa. Porro loses out though to Ian Maatsen. Bogard under pressure from Richarlison. Finds Ross Barkley. Completely heavy touch by Barkley allows Van de Ven to leap in and win possession back. Now Danso has it. Morgan Rogers running with a little bit of a limp now. Here's Bentancur able to turn in the centre circle. The doggy. Tell. Conor Gallagher. They look so well drilled, Tottenham Hotspur. We talk about fighting. They look so well, you know, drilled and trained, and they know what their tactical roles are. It's not just lump the ball forward and hope that we can get a goal.
I think if you didn't know the two teams and you were told one was in the top 5 and the other was in the bottom 3,
completely,
you couldn't say Spurs were in the bottom 3 on this performance.
Absolutely not. This time though they do go long. Tell the target. Cash has some defending to do, but he has his heel clipped by Matthias Tell, and Villa will get a moment to compose themselves.
Well, it's brainless from Tell. Cash is going nowhere. The ball's not going off the pitch. Just let him have it. But this lack of patience, it baffles me at times.
And that's a Cash. Fortunate there. As Barkley receives it in midfield, he wants too much time as Palhinha puts the press on. He's not giving this one up. It's Joao Palhinha as it's looped back towards Martinez. He'll do well to keep it in, but he can't. And Joao Palhinha gets his reward. Lindelof's misplaced pass goes behind for a Tottenham corner.
Wonderful play. And the problem you have with the Villa players is they're on their heels. Look at them. You know, Paulinho's run, and he's on his toes. The rest of them are on their heels. That ball from Mings to Lindelof. Lindelof should be ready for it, and you could see he wasn't ready for it because he didn't know what he was going to do with it. They're doing the ugly stuff, Spurs. Paulinho did the ugly stuff really well. They just have not. You know what he wants?
De Zerbi.
No. Emery is for his team to compete. This is very unlike an Emery side. They're normally robust and roll their sleeves up and compete. This is not them. This Villa team is not them right now.
Tottenham corner. Matthias Tell to take, and it goes. It's Abraham who gets his head on it. Gallagher edge of the penalty area. He'll scoop it back in. Maatsen beats Van de Ven in the air, but Tell will get the loose ball, but Van de Ven was in an offside position. Free kick Villa.
Again, my worry as the big guns are coming on, my worry for Spurs is that, you know, Villa now desperate, will throw everything at it. Spurs might rue all of this possession and chances, because if Villa do nick one, which with the subs they've got, they'll be capable of, the whole complexion of this could change.
The name on the lips of the Villa supporters is Ollie Watkins as he takes his training gear off. Here's Morgan Rogers being chased by Conor Gallagher. Tielemans. Gallagher still pressing, this time after Mings. Conor Gallagher not giving it up at all. The desire from Tottenham today.
Top draw.
Second to none.
Top class.
Here's Lindelof. Rogers the target. Runs into Kevin Danso. It is a foul. It's a very soft one, you have to say. Danso chasing Rogers into the centre circle, and he was late in the tackle, but it was a very late one.
But Rogers doesn't have control of the ball.
There's Paul Tierney, the fourth official, holds up his substitutes board. Abraham, who did pick up a knock earlier on in this half, is going off. But generally speaking, a night to forget for Tammy Abraham.
Well, he's worked hard and he relies on service, and there has been nil service, so he's a different type of player though, Ollie Watkins. Runs the channels well.
Well, I think we just get closer to the ball.
Yeah.
You think Watkins can certainly make a difference in this one. And
well, he's quicker than Abraham, so the long ball now becomes a weapon.
Danso wins the defensive header for Spurs. Got in there ahead of Rogers. Colin Moani gets the second ball, tracked by Maatsen. The ball hits him in the face and goes out for a Tottenham throw in midway inside the Tottenham half, I should say.
I must say, I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't made any more substitutions. Maybe, again, it's the midweek game in mind, because I've got to say his team just haven't performed.
The team finished on 0 shots this season in the Premier League.
I don't know.
I think Villa could be on for that at the moment.
That would not be a surprise to me, but the only reason I say that's not going to happen is because the last 10 minutes they've got to throw everything at it. They've got to. I would say they have to start doing it soon, by the way.
Only 2 teams in the Premier League have scored more goals via substitutes in Aston Villa this season. Maybe Watkins can make the difference here. Maatsen to Rodgers. Danger here. Rodgers will shoot a goal. It'll take a ricochet off Palhinha. And Villa, with an hour gone, have had a shot at goal.
Does that count?
I think it does. It's gone behind for a corner.
Well, it could have been a cross. You just don't know. You just don't know.
But it's a Villa corner, and that's what we do know. Yuri Tielemans is the man who's going to take it. Can they get back into this Villa? They absolutely do not deserve to. The football can be a cruel game sometimes. Tielemans with his left arm aloft to take this corner. They didn't do much with the last one. This one's going to go straight into the mix-up. Tielemans sends it deep. It's a good hand from Kinski. Lindelof was arriving. Cash will keep it alive on the far side. Sends it in low. Rodgers gets a touch, but Tottenham are able to deal with it defensively. Bogard will pick up the pieces on the halfway line. Tielemans have stayed forward here of the Villa defenders. Header away by Gallagher, and now the space in behind, which Tottenham can make the most of. Randall Kolo-Muani down the left-hand side. He's got Tell and Richarlison in support. He continues to run, but runs into Maatsen. And
you know, that's the Kolo-Muani I know.
Runs into a cul-de-sac. That's better from Villa. Barkley, he's only got Watkins with him. It's the only pass. He finds the England man, faced with Danso. Needs help. Gallagher's at him though, and Gallagher snaps into the challenge, but gives it away to Jadon Sancho. Tielemans, Barkley, encouraged to shoot, but too slow. Palhinha dives in and wins the ball back very confidently, as well as winning a free kick. Look how he celebrates that moment, João Palhinha, like a goal.
It's wonderful. I mean, that'll get the fans going. The fans will keep going. That will rile up the rest of the players now. They don't want to lose this. They don't. And again, lack of animation from Emery. It's just like he's just sitting there in a daydream. I'd be fuming. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's just keeping it down. I don't know. But Palhinha here, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. Doesn't hoof it away. Keeps the ball. Is it a foul? Probably not. But the celebration is like they've won the game.
I'd say it's more of a celebration than his one against Wolves last week.
Yes, agreed.
Richarlison fighting with Lindelof, but it's the Villa defenders who win out. The home support are utterly shell-shocked by what they've seen today, but they're still trying to get something out of their side. Here's Mings, slowly carrying the ball forward to the halfway line. Maatsen, he's got Rodgers in behind, but he holds onto the ball. Maatsen runs into trouble. Palhinha takes it off his toe. Villa completely lost of ideas. Kolo-Muani, was he fouled? No, he wasn't. Rodgers, left-hand side, has his shirt pulled by Palhinha, but continues on. Referee waves advantage. Rodgers needs an option, he'll shoot.
Got to pass it.
Gallagher was in the way.
It's woeful play. I mean, you could see right from the touchline, I'm going to shoot, I don't care. But the shot was not on.
As Kolo-Muani is fouled by Watkins down the Tottenham right-hand side. He looks absolutely knackered, Randall Kolo-Muani.
But he's got to stay on. He's got to stay on because he's got the beating of Maatsen all day long. Maatsen does not know how to manage him. Just can't. They're, you know, looking at Morgan Rodgers. Can't play for yourself. Can't play for yourself. You've got to get your head up and pass, and he's going to shoot from 3 miles out, and there's 3 Spurs defenders in the way. It's just never gonna work. But
well, there's a worry for Tottenham. Benton Kerr is down. Well, the club doctors have come on. He's got a look of resignment on his face. Benton Kerr, hopefully he'll be able to continue, because he's been an absolute monster.
Yeah, he's been brilliant
in the midfield. They do have Basuma on the bench, and Bergvall, as well as Sarr. Actually, there's a handful of midfielders who can come on in his place.
Soldiers as well, exact same. Just not really creative, but soldiers. See the goal again. Oh, it's like an exocet right into the corner. Keeper's not getting it.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher, sorry. And then a great header from Richarlison. I think the defenders decided we're just not going to mark him. They didn't think he'd score. Because it's rank bad defending. It really is poor.
The Tottenham powers that be are here in Villa Park as well. Benton Kerr's back on his feet. Got a bit of a limp, but I'm sure he'll be okay.
They must be quietly excited, but terrified, because they know that it could all go pear-shaped at some point.
Well, I guess the main worry here is how bad is this injury for Rodrigo Benton Kerr, because they have 3 Premier League games left to go, and he's very much a senior player. And let's remember, next Tottenham Hotspur, Leeds United, who are in some form, by the way.
That'll be a difficult game, that.
At White Hart Lane, they've not been there for ages. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that is.
He's making double sub.
Each Basuma is going to come on, as is Jed Spence. Now, who's going to come off for Tottenham? You know that Bentancur's going off.
Oh, they won't let him off till they put the board up.
And Kolo Muani is also going to come off. Has to come off on this near side, though, right in front of the Tottenham supporters. As he acts as a cheerleader in front of them. He doesn't have to, because they are making excellent noise.
What is this thing about cheerleading the fans? I don't understand that. This waving at the fans nonsense. Get on with the game.
As he high-fives all of them in row A on the advertising hoardings. I'll tell you what, if they do stay up, those Tottenham Hotspur supporters will be saying that away end at Villa Park.
Yeah.
It'll be a famous away day. He's trying to get a selfie now, a couple of the supporters on the front row. It's not done yet. 66 minutes on the clock. I'm already imagining there'll be at least 5 minutes added on in this game because of the stoppages. Villa ain't out of this game yet, but Sancho's the latest to give it away for Aston Villa. Richarlison finds a way through the claret and blue. Tell. Basuma the short option, but Richarlison is the one who receives it 10 yards inside the Villa half. Under pressure from Bogard, who gets a toe between the legs of the Brazilian, and it'll go out for a Tottenham throw in front of the benches. There's Roberto De Zerbi. It may well be a Tottenham throw in, but he's trying to get the ball moving quickly. He doesn't want this momentum to slow down.
Yeah, you see, they've got to keep playing, as I said. They've got to keep playing, because there's too much time left. You know, over 20 minutes left. There's enough time for Villa to score, and if there's nick one, you know, who knows?
You know, it could be a cross into the box, it hits an arm, and a penalty's given.
For me, Spurs need another goal. Spurs need another goal.
You have to say, as the second half has wore on, though, Villa have got higher up the pitch.
Yeah. But they've not got any better, though.
It's true.
Really, I mean, that one blocked cross-come shot, allegedly, is still the only attempt, isn't it?
I think so. Rodgers.
That's not good.
Running through. There's Gallagher. Pokes it out to Basuma, who can't control it, so Cash will pick up the pieces. Gives it back to his goalkeeper Martinez, who clears it under pressure all the way through to Van der Ven. Lovely first touch to Palhinha. Basuma, Gallagher. He's under pressure from Rodgers. Bogard. Now Lindelof. Tottenham still trying to put on the press as much as they can, but not getting as high up as they have done previously. Hopefully the fresh legs of Spence and Basuma will keep that energy high, or as high as they possibly can.
They need to keep that, but as we said before, around now is the time, maybe 65th minute onwards is where fatigue sets in, when you've put a lot of effort into it.
Watkins is in behind here. The flag stayed down.
It's offside.
Until it eventually comes up in one of those late decisions.
But it's got to keep doing that. It's got to keep doing that. They've got to keep pushing Spurs back, so that what happens is the back four drop right back, and then there's space for their midfield to play. Because like you said, I can't remember the last time you name-checked Tielemans in possession. Not been in the game. Not been any space in the middle of the pitch. It's where Spurs have done their homework.
Yeah, Sancho's disappointed. Barkley's disappointed. Maatsen at left-back's disappointed as he gives it away here to Conor Gallagher. Heavy touch from Gallagher with a bloodied left knee, but he's able to get possession. Nobody closing him down in claret and blue. Palhinha. As it stands, Tottenham will be moving out of the relegation zone, and West Ham will be dropping into it. 3 games to play each after this. Tottenham's remaining fixtures are at home to Leeds on Monday, a week tomorrow that is, and then they're away to Chelsea in a late night kickoff. Who knows what kind of Chelsea are going to turn up at the moment.
That's the thing, you never know what type of Chelsea's going to turn up.
And then last game of the season at home to Everton.
Depends on if Everton are on the beach, really.
They could in theory be hunting a European place, so their season isn't necessarily over either. And then West Ham, they've not got it easy either. They're at home to Arsenal. Tottenham fans will be cheering on Arsenal to high heaven on that one. And then they've got Newcastle United away, and last day of the season at home to Leeds United. Neither an easy run.
It's the Arsenal one for me.
That could be the decider.
Because I think the Brentford one was the one where they needed to get some points. because now they've got to beat Arsenal. They've got to stop Arsenal.
Stop Arsenal winning the league to keep themselves in the Premier League.
See, that's going to be a really difficult game.
Ollie Watkins in behind here, but Kinski is off his line, able to play it out to the Tottenham left, Bissouma. Talk about Tottenham getting tired, Villa are as well, but they've got it here. Ollie Watkins, 25 yards out, takes his time, shot comes in, it's blocked and out wide, it's sent back in. Danso gets his head on it, on the end of Sancho's cross. It's Richarlison who's back defended. Richarlison, clever back heel, or is it? Gives it away to Sancho, rides the challenge of Palhinha. Tielemans hooks it into the back post. Watkins can't get there, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Better from Villa, but still, it's coming up short.
Yeah, and deservedly fuming at Bissouma, who gives the ball away cheaply. That's where that starts. Can't afford to be making those mistakes, because you know you're going to allow Villa to get a foothold in the game. You've got to keep playing. You've got to keep the ball simple. Keep passing it. You've kept Villa at bay this long. It shouldn't be an individual mistake that will cost you. It should be a bit of Villa brilliance, which they have not shown in any aspects of the game today, if the truth be told.
Oh, it's risky at the back from...
dear.
He's Bissouma under pressure from Tielemans. Kinski with a very confident pass into his path, but it's worked out for Spurs. Here's Jed Spence. He's away from Ian Maatsen. Jed Spence, he might go all the way here. He's eventually caught by Maatsen. Gallagher, 5 yards outside the penalty area. Spence cuts back inside onto his left foot. It's Jed Spence! Takes a deflection off a Villa defender and goes behind for a corner. But eventually the offside flag is raised against Jed Spence.
Well, Ian Maatsen is having a torrid time. It doesn't matter who's playing out wide. They're all taking their turns to... And in his defence, he's 2v1 there. He's got nil support. You know, Morgan Rogers is coming back late. He needs support, Ian Maatsen, and he's not really got it either.
It's been a tough night. The former Dortmund man.
He was on loan at Charlton as well, by the way.
Oh yeah? Left back?
Yeah, good player.
He's a good player, but today he's not been able to show that. And here's Rodgers under pressure in the centre circle. Danso tight to him. Rodgers continues to bundle his way through. There was about 3 players who were pulling his shirt there.
He's got to get his head up. He's got 3 players around him, which means there's at least 2 spare players somewhere. So he's got to get his head up and look to pass, because you can see they've done their homework. They know Morgan Rogers is not going to pass it. So they all go and shut him down.
But if he can get out of that tussle,
yeah,
there'll be space for a teammate somewhere.
But look at him, his head is down. He's not even looking up. And that's the problem. There's 3 Spurs players around him. He's got to get his head up and be able to slip it to other players.
73 minutes on the clock. Matthijs Tel actually got a yellow card for that foul. I think he was the one who touched him last, was he? It's quite hard to tell. We'll confirm that shortly. It's Villa in possession. Here's Lindelof. That's a good pass into Barkley. Too slow in possession. Danso onto him. He keeps stepping forward, Danso, but
they're closed in the middle of the pitch really well.
Maatsen left-hand side. It's a tasty ball in. It's a header by Danso in front of Watkins that puts it behind for an Aston Villa corner.
Yeah, the 2 centre-halves, Van der Ven and Danso, have defended that 6-yard box area really well, just outside it. Both sides, they've headed it, they've cleared it, they've not allowed the ball down that middle sort of lane of the pitch.
16 minutes left in the second half. Tielemans with the Villa corner. That's the near post it goes. Intercepted by Porro. Tielemans will get another go though. Willie, Porro's in the way. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Porro in the way. Maatsen gets the lucky ricochet though. That last touch came off the Villa defender, and it will be a Tottenham throw-in. And again, Porro celebrates that like a goal.
And you see all the little jewels, as I said, all the little bobbles of the ball are going Spurs' way. I mean, you know, Tielemans should get the ball in the box. Had a couple of chances, doesn't do it. Centre-halves have got to now make that trek back to their own half. They've been poor as I've seen Villa play for 70-odd minutes, 80 minutes, 75 minutes. They've been terrible. But still, if they nick one, it would still be different.
Here's Sancho. Cash slides it through for Jadon Sancho. It's too heavy. Van der Ven can step in and out. Van der Ven can put his foot down and he can go. He can move. Plays it to Richarlison. Tell. Breaks for Udogie, who's the furthest forward for Tottenham Hotspur. Richarlison can't get past Cash, and it'll be a Tottenham throw-in on the far side. But opened up there on the right for Sancho.
It did. You thought maybe, but
no look. Still only one change for Villa, by the way. 15 minutes to go. Watkins the only substitute to come on.
I've got to assume that's about Wednesday in mind. Sorry, midweek in mind, because any other game there'd be 4 or 5 substitutions, as many as he could do, because there's half a dozen players here he could have taken off. Pick any one of 7 or 8. I don't think any of the Villa players have really covered themselves in glory today. It's just, like I said, it's as poor a team performance I've seen in a while.
When we talk about Aston Villa getting Champions League football, they've got Burnley away after this, which you'd fancy them to win, even though they played terribly in this. They've then got Liverpool and Manchester City. It's not nailed on for them yet, Champions League football.
But that's why this game was important for me. That's why this game was important. They needed to cement it, and to lose in this way with a couple of important games ahead. Momentum is key in these things, and it's not just if they lose, it's the manner of the performance. It's been so poor.
Here's Rodgers faced with Porro, who puts him under pressure. Rodgers gets the last touch, and it's a goal kick. He protests the call, but it looked like the right decision from me. And it is a yellow card for Rodgers for protesting that. Frustration very much high here at Villa Park.
It's a soft booking. It's a soft booking, because now he can't make a petulant tackle. And it does come off him. It does come off him.
It's the right call from the referee, Mr. Sam Barrett, who's had a good night tonight, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think he's been good. I mean, the problem they've had, Villa, is, like I said, every little decision has gone Spurs' way, and it happens sometimes.
As Kinski misplaces a pass way out of touch. It's not what you want to see from your goalkeeper.
You don't want to invite pressure where it's not needed.
He's generally been quite calm tonight as Anton and Kinski, but he absolutely wellied that out for a throw-in under no pressure. Aston Villa go backwards with the ball. Mings to Lindelof. Cash. 10 yards inside the Spurs half. Right-hand side. Sancho goes back to Lindelof. With a space here for Ross Barkley, but he can't bring it under his control. They'll come back towards Aston Villa, though. Tottenham unable to get a foot on it. Mings to Maatsen down the left-hand side. Rodgers is there as well. Here he is now. Tries to get beyond Danso, who steps in. And manages to find a teammate in Gallagher. Rodgers down again. Fair challenge, though. Got to be careful. He's putting in a lot of tackles here, Morgan Rodgers, after that yellow card.
Yeah, he's frustrated. You can see it. He's frustrated. So often what happens with him when he's frustrated, those petulant kicks at people, and he needs to keep his head, because they need to create. They've not created any chances. They just haven't created anything of note. Villa.
Been such an easy 4th Premier League appearance of the season for Antonin Kinski. Clean sheet against Wolves was his first Premier League clean sheet of the season. Had one earlier on in the Carabao Cup against Doncaster Rovers. That was in September. And Richarlison's down for Spurs. He's now miraculously back up. And there's Barkley. Centre circle. Mings into Rodgers. Maatsen bundled over by Joao Palhinha, which came through the back of Ian Maatsen. But Villa, they always seem to need an extra touch, which slows them down.
That's what happens when you're not performing well. Yeah, he's going to get booked. He should get booked for throwing ball. But that's what happens. You try to be more precise when you're struggling in confidence. So what you do in one touch, you take another touch just to make sure. And that's what's happening. And it just slows everything down. It allows the defending team to be able to get into good positions.
If Tottenham can replicate this performance in their final 3 games of the season, they will be safe for sure. Villa free kick here, though. Tielemans doesn't send it into the box. He goes to the far side, and Tyrone Mings has fouled Destiny Udogie. And Aston Villa, everything they do tonight just goes wrong. Just when they've got a chance to throw it long into the penalty area, they mess it up, and it's their captain who gives away the foul.
Yeah. I mean, it's a soft one, really. It's a really soft one. Yeah, he's holding on to Udogie, stops him getting out wide. It's soft.
It is a foul, but it is a soft one, you have to say. Correct decision from the referee, Sam Barrett, again. Just frustration.
Well, fans are going home this time.
They definitely are.
Don't think they're going for pies now.
10 minutes to go. 2-0 down. They'll be back again. Well, the Villa supporters. Final home game of the season in 2 weeks' time. 12:30 kick-off at home to Liverpool. Was that scoreline a few years ago, the Villa-Liverpool one? Was it 7-2, was it?
I did that game.
Unbelievable result.
Yeah.
Was that final game of the season?
Yeah, it was just the most bizarre game where, honestly, it could have been 12. It was just one of those games.
Here come Villa. Tielemans into Ollie Watkins, who's being pulled everywhere by Danso.
It's a booking.
Well, advantage looked like it was to be played, but it's been brought back for a free kick. The Villa players seem happy with that decision, but the fans certainly aren't.
Yeah, it's good play from Watkins. And look at Danso. He can't see the ball. It just, if he defends properly, but defenders don't defend properly anymore. It's like basketball. I'm just going to physically stop you. If he actually defends and jockeys and does it properly, he'll see the ball and be able to deal with it. But it's like this blind panic comes along, and I have to grapple. I think at the moment the art of defending has gone completely. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Definitely not being played for the ball.
Need something from this Villa. They need to get something from this.
82nd minute of the game. Central free kick. Rodgers receives it short. Cash. Rodgers gives it away. And now he's got to get back because Tottenham are coming forward. Tell. He's got the doggy and Porro making runs ahead of him, but he holds on to the ball.
Poor play from Tell. There's people he could have played in. Yeah, I understand what he's doing, but there's a couple he could have played in.
Not forcing it as it looks like there's two substitutes preparing to come on for Aston Villa. I think it's Bailey and Buendia who are stripped and ready. Here's Spence. Nice touch there. Did it come off Morgan Rodgers or did it come off Jed Spence?
Oh yeah, Morgan Rodgers not going to react me if it doesn't, because he's on the wrong end of these. But probably 3 or 4 times now he's been on the wrong end of those. But he's got to be careful.
Got to keep his mouth shut.
Take it on the chin because he's been booked. Not been his day at all for many reasons.
It's not been his day. It's not been his teammates' day. And the Villa supporters will be thinking, oh, we should have booked that bank holiday weekend trip rather than going to Villa Park. Tottenham fans, though, best atmosphere all season, you'd have to say.
Yeah, this game will go a long way to righting some wrongs, I should think, for them this season. This will be the one they look back on.
Season's not done yet, though. Still plenty of things to change in the Premier League, at the bottom and the top. Tottenham looking to seal it here. Pedro Porro's corner. There's the header, and Martinez gets up to catch Danso's full forehead on that. Richarlison's collided with Martinez, but the players continued with Sancho in possession. He goes back to Cash. Richarlison again has made a remarkable recovery. Such a character, Richarlison. One of those who you love to have on your team and you hate to be playing against because he's such a nightmare. Rodgers skips away from his marker, right-hand side. He's got 5 in the middle. It's Morgan Rodgers, takes it to the byline. Basuma dangles out a foot and it'll be a Villa corner.
Yeah, good play from Rodgers. Finally manages to get past someone, but again, it's just very difficult to find any of his teammates there in a congested penalty area.
He looks absolutely knackered, Morgan Rodgers.
Put a lot into it, just got nothing out of it, but he's put a lot of effort into it.
Tielemans' corner. Into the middle it goes. Richarlison jumps highest and wins that header. Nobody coming towards it, a claret and blue. Tielemans will be able to send it in again from the far right if he can get away from Porro, which he can't. Porro does very well. Tottenham and their 50-50 battles today have been absolutely sublime.
He's been poor. He's normally a very good manipulator of the ball. Tielemans finds time and space really easily, but he's not been anywhere near his best today.
Ross Barkley is coming off, 85 minutes in the tank for the former England midfielder. Scored against Tottenham for Everton on the opening day of the 2016-2017 season, did Ross Barkley, but a night to forget tonight. Leon Bailey on as a substitute, yet to score in the Premier League this season. Another player we've not really seen much of because of injury problems.
He'd been on loan at Roma. He'd been on loan.
That's right, yeah, he was in Italy.
Come back and again the injury bugs caught him, and on his day a match winner.
got electric pace when he gets going, Leon Bailey, as Gallagher collides in midfield. Buendia is the other substitute who's come on.
Been very good, Gallagher. It's his type of game, this one, where a lot of ugly stuff to do, the shutting down, the closing people down, the getting tight to people, the denying them space, and he has done that really well.
Might be his best performance yet for Tottenham Hotspur. Here's Lindelof, 20 yards inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. Cash, tracked by Tell, who's had to do a lot more defensive work in the second half compared to the first. But doing it well. Tottenham set up in a what's that, 5-2-3 formation when they don't have the ball, which is a lot of the time at the moment. Maatsen is going to chase that with Porro, who gets his body in the way, but play continues. Rodgers, can he bundle his way through? It almost comes through for Bailey, but there was a doggy to send it away. Could have gone anywhere, that ricochet.
Yeah.
Fortunate one for the Tottenham defender that it fell his way.
Again, that's what's been happening with Spurs. All the little bobbles and the balls bounce in certain ways. They're all going for Spurs.
Here's Mings. Tielemans. Maatsen, left-hand side. He's going to run at Porro again. Can't get away from the Spaniard, though. It will be a Villa throw-in. Just taken quickly. Rodgers receives. Back to Tielemans. 4 minutes to go here at Villa Park. A lot of empty seats already in the home end. Bailey slides it in behind for Emi Buendia, who can't get there. Van der Ven's across.
Yeah, he's not going to. That's a little. That's a mismatch. That physically, isn't it? Really.
I think he's about twice his height, isn't he, Nicky van der Ven over Emi Buendia? He's had a good season as well. Buendia might be a little too late for him in this one to influence it. Scored the winner in the reverse league fixture back in October.
Another good player, Buendia. Do like him.
I thought his time at Villa was up a little while ago. Had a loan away in Germany. I think it was Leverkusen he went to. And
agreed. I thought he'd finished there. I thought it was all over, to be truthfully honest. But you know, he's managed to resurrect it and has become an important player for them again.
Played in all but 2 Premier League games this season for Unai Emery,
which is a surprise, really. But you know, he's always a good player.
Only Rodgers and Watkins have got more Premier League goals than the former Norwich City man. Here's Yuri Tielemans. A couple of minutes remaining here at Villa Park. Tottenham 2-0 up. And as it stands, we're getting out of the relegation zone, but here come Aston Villa. Leon Bailey up against Udogie and Tell. Udogie got a touch on the ball there as he takes away Bailey's ankle. It's not a foul, but it is a corner for Aston Villa.
Yeah, that's what they need. Someone wide who can cause problems.
Crucial moments in this game for both Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. Villa corner, far side, Leon Bailey to take. Lots of whip on it. Oh, and it's a header just over the crossbar. Mings got the final touch. It's the closest the Villa have come to a goal in this game, and it comes via their captain. Can't keep his header down, though.
Looks like he's in a bit of pain as well, Mings. Maybe landed awkwardly. A lot of bodies at the near post.
Oh yeah, I think it's his right ankle rolls as he lands. Yeah, it's a sore one for Mings, who again is one of those players who seems to always be injured at the moment.
Yeah, he's had long spells out of injury. Looked like Richarlison was down there as well, but
Tottenham fans singing their hearts out. Villa fans departing.
Tempting fast, isn't it?
Very quickly. Don't know what the connections are like around Villa Park, but should be going to get a head start on the traffic. There's a change, or a couple of changes for Tottenham in a final minute of the game. Looks like Sarr and Bergvall are preparing to come on, as Richarlison is the latest player to drop down.
I like Richarlison, but you never know what's going on with him, really. 1 minute he's, you know, he can't walk. He's probably done his hamstrings. He's cramped, probably cramped. He's put a lot of energy into it.
He has, and he's
put a lot of energy into it.
He's such a different centre forward compared to Solanke, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got cramp.
Everyone knows that facial expression.
Oh, he can pull a face, yeah.
Stretch it out. Well, only 5 minutes of injury time added on at the end here, which will be music to the ears of Roberto De Zerbi. And we're seeing the replay of the opening goal. Conor Gallagher, first shot of the game, I think it was, as it rolled right into the corner from the edge of the penalty area. Martinez at full stretch, couldn't get down. And since that goal, I think he's covered every blade of grass inside Villa Park.
I'd agree with that. It's been absolutely brilliant. Best I've seen him play.
Well, he got his move to Spain, didn't he? And it just didn't seem to work for him under Diego Simeone.
Do you know what? He played some good football. I saw a few of the games, but you're right. For some odd reason, he should have been a perfect Simeone player. Should have been, but just didn't happen.
Perfect player for Roberto De Zerbi tonight. There's Cash faced with Bergvall, who's just come on. Bailey down the channel, out-muscled over on the far side. Strong defensive shift once again from Destiny Udogie.
Again, Emery, nothing. You'd normally see him kicking stuff and screaming and shouting and nothing. Absolutely no response, which is strange, I have to say. Not seen that before. Because they're well beat today, well beat.
Second best on every front.
Well, I actually thought they would come with a bit more urgency in the second half, seeing as how poor they'd been in the first half, but it just hasn't happened.
It's been better, but that doesn't say much. Because their first half was so bad.
It really doesn't.
Bailey can't get away from Udogie and Bergvall. Tottenham fans are those who are celebrating. It really is unpredictable down the bottom.
You sit there as a fan, a Villa fan, and you're baffled at this. You would be absolutely baffled at this. As a Spurs fan, you never saw this coming. Absolutely no. You can't believe your luck.
Tottenham will be 1 point ahead of West Ham in 18th. That's how much this means as Bailey slips trying to receive it. That means Tottenham get the ball back. Here's Sarr. Now's not the time to make that sort of slip. Wendia will win the throw-in over on the far side. We've had 2.5 minutes played of the 5 injury time minutes added on.
And the clean sheet is what they want.
That'd be massive. Back-to-back clean sheets.
Yeah. Villa haven't been good enough to score today. And 2 clean sheets is momentum. 3 goals, 2 clean sheets, momentum. And they take that into what's going to be a really challenging game. Their next one.
And here's Bailey, switches the play to Morgan Rogers. Maatsen continues ahead of him as he takes on Spence. Rogers tries the clever back heel, but Porro's there again. Talk so much about Porro being an attacking fullback. He's been great as a defender today as well.
They've defended well today, Spurs. They've not really been up against much, if the truth be told. You know, Villa looked toothless in spells today. It's been really, like I said, a very un-Emery-like performance. They haven't rolled their sleeves up and competed like an Emery side does. They do the ugly stuff really well normally, and they're good at creating chances, and that just hasn't happened at all.
Pedro Porro and Jed Spence with a big high five, as well as the Spurs defenders win another throw-in this time against Ian Maatsen. As Unai Emery looks a beaten manager on the touchline. As Tottenham fans doing their own chant, because around the Championship, or in League One I should say, there's been a lot of chants saying Tottenham away, Championship, Tottenham away, Tottenham Premier League. Here's the chant you can hear. Danso's defensive header, 30 seconds remain. Villa Park half empty now. And here's Martinez. One last roll of the dice for Villa. It's come up all ones all night for them. And it does again here. Rogers. Tottenham still full of running. Spence pulls back the sleeve of his England teammate. As Conor Gallagher gets a yellow card for not getting the full 10 yards away from this free kick in the final few seconds. Not sure that was quite worth it. Here's Buendia, left corner of the penalty area. Slips under pressure.
All of a sudden.
Gets away from Porro, luckily though. Fallen over.
Has the temperature dropped? That doesn't feel like it. Half a dozen players have slipped all over the place, Reece, just in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Icy, all of a sudden. Here's Bailey, flicks the ball out to the right-hand side. Cash sends it in, left-footed. It's a tasty one. It's Gladstone, and Villa do have a goal back. Emi Buendia, in the final few seconds of injury time, makes it Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2.
Well, the smallest player on the pitch has risen to put that in the net. Again, slightly poor defending from Spurs. They'll be disappointed with that. Good cross from Matty Cash. And he's first to it. Buendia runs across Mickey van der Ven and just diverts it in goal bound, and in it goes. They couldn't, could they?
6th Premier League goal of the season for Emi Buendia as Tottenham look ready to send this towards the corner flag. So they send it back to their goalkeeper Kinski. Can't be long left in this, surely. The whistles you can hear from that away, and they're nervous now. Still time. Maatsen. There you have it. What a performance, what a result, and what could this mean in the Premier League battle to survive? Tottenham dominant at Villa Park. The final score, Villa 1, Spurs 2. Paul Mortimer, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, well worth the Spurs win. It's the poorest I've seen Villa play, and sometimes you get that. Sometimes you realise as Spurs, Villa aren't at it today. Let's really, take advantage of it, and they have done. To give them credit, you still have to go and score the goals, and they did it. And up until the last minute, Villa did not look like scoring. It's as poor a performance I've seen from Villa for a while. Spurs have taken their chance, and good luck to them. They deserved it today.
A goal with 12 minutes on the clock from Conor Gallagher. A goal with 25 minutes on the clock from Richarlison. The Tottenham Hotspur supporters in the corner of the ground here at Villa Park haven't stopped singing all night. They've almost deserved that.